Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome NAED President and CEO, Tom Naber.
Good morning. Welcome to San Diego and the South Central meeting. Has anybody heard of Eric Astroteller? No, he's not somebody I met at a bar, and he's not somebody from a frat house. He is the CEO or former CEO of X, which used to be called Google X. And X is part of Google, or now Alphabet's. He's the CEO of what works on the moonshot projects, the innovation lab for Alphabet. Now, I first came across him, and I'll tell you, it's in the second half of the second chapter of Tom Friedman's book, Thank You for Being Late. And I'm just telling you that because I'm not recommending the book. But I'm thankful to Tom Friedman for introducing me to Astroteller. And if you really want to learn something about him, you should go on. There's just about 35 or 40 YouTube videos, TED Talks, of him talking about X's philosophy of innovation. And his videos on failing fast are must viewing for anybody in the business world today. And he made me reevaluate something that I said to you at last year's meeting. Last year I said that NAED's Education and Research Foundation recommended that the minimum amount of formal training for people in the electrical industry, they should receive 40 hours. So 40 hours of formal training each year. And if your company isn't doing any training, 40 hours is a good place to start. But in the future, 40 hours won't nearly be enough. The real goal for your company is to create a culture of lifelong learning. And here's why. And Teller says that, and this is going to be obvious to most of us, is that the pace of change is so fast that the only way to keep up with the change is to become a lifelong learner, learning constantly to keep up with the different changes. And he said, you know, we've actually evolved over the last few years. And 400 or 500 years ago, if we came across some kind of new technology or lifestyle, it would take us 2, 3, 4 generations to adapt to that change. But today, we can adapt in 10 to 15 years. Which is great. We've evolved, except technology is changing at a rate of 5 to 7 years. So by the time we adapt to one platform of technology, our knowledge is obsolete. And the next platform is already in the middle of its life cycle. And if you believe Moore's law, that the chip and the power of and speed of a chip doubles every 2 years, you can expect change is going to increase even faster in the future. So what do you do as leaders? Teller says you have no choice but to increase the speed of experimenting, learning, applying knowledge, and assessing your success and failures. Thus, it's his motto of failing fast. We have to make the same mistakes in half the time we currently do with half the money. He says enhancing humanity's adaptability is 90% about optimizing for learning. 90% about optimizing for learning. That's how we're going to adapt in the future. So, and he says that positive things, is if we learn this, he calls it dynamic stability. When we learn to learn quick and fail quicker and move on, we become less stressed in the future. Now, I believe this is doable. I think there's going to be a real difficulty. I believe humanity is going to learn to adapt. I'm not sure about the people in this room. Me, you, we're going to have a challenge. 80% of Generation Z, which are the kids in college today, they want to run their own business. They want to create. They want to make things. They're born entrepreneurs. They're also grown-up multitaskers. Now, I never thought about this, but the reason kids don't go to movies today is because they don't want to be confined to one source of media for 90 minutes or more. And they can stay at home, they can watch the movie on their TV, they can work with their computer, they can work with their phones and their iPads. So they're multitasking, and they're very comfortable on this. Does your workplace fit those kids' criteria? Because I think that's, when we look at the future, I think the kids can take us to where we need to go as an industry in the future, but are we as leaders open to and flexible enough to let them do that? Now, we spend a lot of time in this industry. We talk about Amazon, but we were at NECA's headquarters last week, and NECA is not talking about Amazon. The Contractor Association is talking about a company called Katerra. It's a 3-year-old construction technology company. It started in Silicon Valley. They want to provide all the services from initial sketches to the final punch list. They want to do everything, including providing products. Now, last month they received $750 million in financing. So I'd like to show you a short video about what they're up to.
It always takes a company from outside to come into the industry to recognize that things could be done differently and do them differently. We've assembled a team of people that are used to operating in a very different environment with very different disciplines. By bringing those skill sets into this industry, we can do really great things. There are many different kinds of technology, and we're using lots of them.
The question is asked over and over, what does failure look like if Katerra doesn't work? And our view was, failure looks like the industry today. There's no motivation to change. There's a lack of integration, IT, technology that drives costs down and benefits up to the consumer.
One of the unique things about Katerra is we're trying to do everything end to end. What we are doing is using technology to optimize for supply chain, design, and manufacturing, and then also optimize for the construction side. This is applying technology all throughout this chain.
The problems that Katerra are going to address are going to be, I think, affordability, cost effectiveness, speed of construction, diversity of building in a prefabricated way so that it's not cookie cutter, models of building in a more sustainable way, less waste.
Something that will be essential to Katerra's learning approach and how we are helping our employees to develop will be not only increasing their knowledge, skills, and abilities, but having an equal focus on really expanding the mindsets, giving our employees permission and the support that they need to think and do things differently.
We're taking the technology tools and the experiences we have from other industries and applying them to an industry that needs it, that has a lot of room for change.
There are so many things that any architect will tell you they wish they could stop wasting their time doing. And if we can automate that, then we can free up a lot of our time to actually invest in the design and take a portion of the money that you would be wasting on something that could be standardized, optimized, and automated, and put that into better design solutions and better design concepts.
The end of this journey is to actually be able to build affordable units. The United States is short 5 million affordable apartments. If we can execute this correctly, then we can build economically viable, affordable housing.
Our goal is to be able to do projects at less than half the time than anybody else is able to do.
It shouldn't be impossible just because it hasn't been done yet. It never made sense to do it stick by stick like a Rebel model, right, in the field. Is why not bring out assemblies? Why not get it going that way?
Our first step will be to build a quality and the most beautiful building we possibly can. But then I firmly believe we can do it faster. I firmly believe we can do it cheaper. And so this might be the first time that we can actually do all three of those things.
We are the architects, we are the engineers, we are the general contractors, we are the subcontractors, and we provide the materials. This is the most fun I've ever had.
Do your customers look like that? If not, is there a role in your company can play to help them start looking like that and being more successful? I'm impressed by that, what they're doing, and I think, we talk about, he says, what is failure? For them, failure is doing the same thing we're doing today. And I keep wondering, when you look at that video, who's going to get that work? Is it going to be an automation house or a contractor house? I mean, it changes everything for a distributor. And obviously, there's a lot of questions that we need to ask ourselves, and you and your business need to ask yourself about how are you going to accommodate the future? Because I believe there's going to be Maybe not all those contractors in the future are going to be that sophisticated, but they're going to be moving in that direction. And Teller would say, that's all the more reason you need to become lifelong learners. You need to learn to adapt, and we adapt by optimizing our knowledge. And NAED's board believes education and learning are so important. They listed education and learning as one of the key attributes of a successful distributor in the next 10 years. The other attributes are the successful distributor is going to be growth-oriented rather than just maintaining what's always been done. The successful distributor in the future will have the ability to take a professional look at the future, not cling to the past, and not think about how it's always been done. Look to the future. They'll have the ability to put plans into action instead of just talking about them. And they're going to be technologically savvy, just like Katera. And they're going to offer a hybrid business model of products and services rather than just moving forward as a traditional product seller. And lastly, they're going to be committed to maintaining a culture of innovation. We all have to do it. NAED is challenging ourselves to, we need to change the way we do things in the association to help you become more successful. And we are committed to doing that, and certainly NAED's board is committed to doing it too. And some of the things we started already, I want to talk about 2 programs. I want to let you know, first of all, you said you needed a better cross-reference program. So we helped create Crosscheck. Just for clarification, it wasn't Data Agility who decided the industry needed a cross-reference. It was NAED's board at the members' request who said, we needed a better cross-reference to be more successful. So we went out and found the best vendor possible, and that was Data Agility. And they're doing a great job. Talk to Brett Anderson and Denise Keating. They're really they have a great program, and they can help you be more successful. Second, our members said they needed to understand market share better. They needed to have more and better data available at your fingertips if we're going to be competitive in the future. So we created the Market Data Program, and I hope most of you attended the sessions yesterday. What makes this program unique, it's being developed specifically for our industry by your peers. The people who work with this data every day are in charge of the committee. We're responding to their needs. It's not been developed by a manufacturer. It's not developed by an outside company. It's been developed by you and your peers for your success in the future. And we've worked really hard to make sure it's secure and safe, and it's going to be very successful. So make sure you talk to Erica Tenite. The people from DNR are here. It's a great program. We need your support, and you're going to need it in the future too. And we're going to share more details about that at the annual meeting coming up in May. So as I wrap up, I think I'd like to thank the people the sponsors who support this event. These companies underwrote everything here, different events, and they deserve the recognition. So our platinum sponsor is Eaton. Our gold sponsors are ABB, Ideal, Infor, Legrand, Milbank, Rittal, Rockwell Automation, Service Wire, Siemens, Square D by Schneider Electric, and Strategic Pricing Associates, and Sylvania. Our silver sponsors are NMN Electrical, Forest Lighting, Leviton, Orbit, and Wheatland Tube. I'd also like to thank Rab Lighting for hosting the reception on Sunday night. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, we hope you'll join us on the Promenade patio tonight for tonight's reception. It starts at 6. Members, be sure, stop by the tables we have the people from the lead committee and the Women in the Industry Committee are there, and they want to talk to you about their programs and events. And they're great people. It's worth it to spend a few minutes with them.